Hey everyone, 1010 here. I just wanted to start by welcoming everyone to the channel, and I really appreciate everyone taking the time to listen to me ramble on about certain things. This is just kind of like a catalog of my thoughts and the things that I've discovered along the way through my life. I will give you a little background. I have about 30 years of Christianity under my belt. And coming out of Christianity, it was very difficult. It was the last systematic ideal that I had to let go of. And it was so heavily and deeply ingrained in me that it kind of caused like a depression because of the realization that whether it's true or not, it was never my own. It was never my own thoughts. It was never my own desires to do it. So if you desire to follow Christianity and that's what you want to do, that is your choice. You know, you wake up and that's how you want to live your life, then there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, it was a long process of figuring out that this definitely was not something that I was interested in any longer. After reading the Bible, I read the Bible multiple times, and I realized that it was definitely not all that I thought it was. So when you learn your whole life that God is good and He is fair and He is just, but you see unjust things happening in the Bible, and then people justify why God did what He did, and then they say, well, God is good, and He knows all these things, and He's doing it for the good of everybody. But if you look at it, it's not necessarily for the good of everybody, because if it was, it wouldn't have selfish intentions. And even in the Bible, it states that God's a jealous God, and He desires that only He be worshipped and none other. So if you love someone, and I know this is a love we still don't quite understand it, but you would do anything for them, right? And the thing is for me, if I want to worship God, it's because I want to do it. I don't want to feel forced into doing it. I don't want anyone to tell me that this is how I need to do it, or whatever the case might be. There could be a God. There definitely could be a God, but I don't think that the God is that we're reading in this Bible is the God that created, that loves, that cares, that's just, that's fair. This is not Him. This is, some parts of who God is, but definitely not who He is entirely. And I'm saying like the good, the just part. Because if you create a group of people, place them on an earth, you leave them naked in a garden to tend the earth for you, and to worship you and not realize that they're naked. And some people say it's because they had no shame. Well, that's a little bit presumptuous, I guess. It's kind of a big word, but it's presumptuous to say that what if I want to wear clothes, but I don't know that I want to wear clothes. I'm just walking around naked in the elements. Like, if you went outside right now, wherever you are, and you were naked, and you were out there all day, all night, no clothes, how do you think that would work out for you? It wouldn't work out very well, because as humans, we're not built to be outside all day without some protection, without water, without food, and these are just little things that I think about that don't make any sense to me. And I know I can hear someone saying, Well, this was before the fall. The fall or not, the sun was still shining in the sky because it says that in Genesis in the beginning. The moon, there were animals, there were plants, all kinds of stuff. If you walked outside barefoot and it's snowing outside and you're naked, it's going to be a terrible time for you. And don't say there wasn't snow. You don't know that, okay? You can't just assume it was a tropical climate and it was pleasant. Maybe it was. Maybe it was 72 degrees, a perfect temperature all year round. But the thing is that animals, birds, dogs, cats, horses, they all have this ability, their skin, their bodies, to protect them from the heat and the elements. As humans, we have to use our minds to protect ourselves by creating things to keep us from being frozen, from being dehydrated, from getting sunburned. I go outside. I am very pale. I won't last out there naked. I mean, just think about yourself going outside with absolutely no protection. There's nowhere for you to go. There's nowhere for you to hide. Maybe there's some trees. You can sit under there for a little bit, but you are exposed. So when it comes to human beings, we have to use our minds and our abilities to protect ourselves from these elements. Like, I wear glasses. If I didn't have my glasses, I wouldn't be able to see. So would I survive? I don't know. Maybe not. But you have to just think about yourself. When you come out of the womb in your raw form, human bodies are so vulnerable, yet they're so amazing, and at the same time, we have this mind that and these materials, I'm inside my house. So I'm protected from the sun. I'm protected from the heat. I'm protected from, the cold. And we have air conditioning and heating and all these things to keep us protected. But what if that wasn't available to you? What would you do? You would probably have to start, using your mind to adapt. So when a horse comes out, let's say, the horse already is ready and adapted to this planet and can come out, has fur, has, a tail, has ways of cooling itself naturally. And of course, they need food and water and things like that. But has the ability to adapt to being outside on a continuous basis, as opposed to humans. We don't. And we're so used to this comfortable life. I mean, I'm used to a comfortable life. I think a lot of us are. But when you come out into this world, just think of yourself in your purest, rawest form. You're vulnerable. You are exposed. And you rely on systems that have been set up for you. You rely on your parents. You rely on the government. You rely on religion. You rely on everything. So when that comes to when it all comes down to it, are you willing to stop relying on those things? Are you willing to take a step back and really assess why the Bible? What is so important about this book that they want us to keep it? And everybody always talks about, the Bible, it's so important. And, Christians are persecuted. Why do we still have this book available to us? Why are we still allowed to read it? It will always be here. It is a form of control. So just a couple of things to go over. Sorry I rambled a little bit, but I want to thank you for your time and hope you have a great day. Bye.